What's up, guys? Randy here. I had to come on here and talk about Bonnaroo. I just had to. I was gonna just mention it in a video maybe and talk about some cool stuff, but there's too much to tell, and I'm just gonna do a whole video talking about it because it was truly mind-blowing and it was just so much fun. But before I get into that, this is what's playing in the background. This is the new Tallest Man on Earth album, which came in the mail about an hour ago. But this is great. I mean, you guys must think I'm a huge Tallest Man on Earth fan. I feel like I've been showing his records in every video I make. And I guess I am a big fan, but it's just kind of funny to me. But this is great. I mean, yeah, it's the same. I mean, it's about what you'd expect from him, but it's still great. I mean, he's incredibly consistent with his fantastic songwriting. And so, I guess I guess you could make the complaint that it's kind of redundant as opposed from album to album, but I really don't care, just because it's just so many good songs. 1904, the single that came out, is really great. That's one of my favorites. But I think my favorite on here right now is the title track, There Is No Leaving Now, which is just this piano ballad, and it's just so good. I can't wait to see him come next month. Okay, so Bonnaroo. So we left Wednesday around 3 or 4, no, I guess it was around 4:30, and we had to leave then. Last year I left like at around 6 a.m. on Wednesday, which so we ended up getting there. It's about 11 hours from Maryland, and we ended up getting there last year around 7 p.m. And this year we must, I guess, so yeah, but my friend, there were 5 of us total, and one of my friends had a class he's taking this summer, and he couldn't miss it, so we couldn't leave until 3 p.m. So I was kind of, initially I was kind of bummed. I was thinking, oh man, we're going to be waiting in line forever, because last year when we got there at like 7, which is when the gates open, we waited in line for about 2 hours after driving 11 hours. And so I was really worried that getting there at like 3 a.m. was just going to make the line was just going to be huge. So I was really concerned, but we didn't have a choice, so we did it. But boy was I wrong. We got there and there wasn't a single car in line. I don't know. I guess nobody really plans on showing up at 3 a.m. But it was great. I mean, we were ecstatic just to drive right in there after that long drive. We didn't have to wait in line, and it was fantastic. So, so we got in. And we got all our camp set up probably by 5 a.m. and then at that time the sun was like starting to come up, and I tried to sleep for a few hours, just what I could. I didn't get very far. The sun comes up there and it's hot, man, so I didn't get that much sleep. So then Thursday was there, and we had to go do things. We weren't going to waste time sleeping. So here we go. I have the list of bands we saw on Friday. Let's see. It's all on my computer. So first we saw Rolling in the Hay, which I did not know about before we saw them. It was just kind of this bluegrass band. They played a really small tent, and they were really great. I mean, they were really great. That was a good way to kick things off. Last year we kicked things off with Green Sky Bluegrass, which is another bluegrass band. So I thought that was kind of funny. At the same tent, I thought it was funny that both years started with a bluegrass band at that tent. So that was cool. Then next we saw K-Flay, which is a female kind of hip-hop artist, and she was really energetic. I've never been huge into like her recordings, but she was just a delight to see live, because she was so into it. So that was really cool. And then we stayed for Mariachi El Bronx, which I hadn't heard of them either, but just judging by the name, I guess I kind of knew what to expect. But they were really great. I mean, it was mariachi stuff, but it was kind of filtered through like an American lens. And we were really close. There are a couple pictures up on the Bonnaroo site where you can see me in it and everything, and it's really neat. So they were great. But the main reason we stayed there was so that we could be really close to the stage for the next 4 bands. We were standing there for a long time. My ankles are still swollen, by the way, just from walking and standing still for so long. But it was totally worth it, because the next 4 bands were Oregon, Moon Taxi, Soja, and Big Gigantic. And it was like the most solid Thursday I could have asked for. It was amazing. Oregon is this jam band, just like funk jam band, and they killed it. I was blown away by how strong they were live. If you have not heard of this band, Oregon, O-R-G-O-N-E, I mean, they were phenomenal. I'm so glad we saw them. That was a huge surprise to how good they were. I was just blown away. And then after that was Moon Taxi, which was hailed as like one of the greatest performances of the festival by many people. It was fantastic. Moon Taxi nailed it too. I mean, they're not like their recordings aren't like that exciting or innovative or anything. It's just kind of like some, yeah, I guess it's just like upbeat indie rock with some psych elements and, you know, cool production. You know, it's good stuff. I listened to it and I like it, but I did not expect them to be so good live. They were really into it. The lights were great. Lead singer did like a crazy stage dive. It was really a really cool show. And then after that was Soja, which is, you know, just reggae, modern reggae. You know, he's the front man in there. He's great, man. I mean, they also. I feel like I'm gonna be repeating so many words just to describe these shows, but Soja was great, just straight up reggae. I mean, nothing fancy. He just played the songs, not in a bad way, in a good way. So that was fantastic. And then after that was Big Gigantic, which started at I think 12 a.m. And Big Gigantic is kind of dubstep with saxophone, and we were so close to the front, and the lights were just insane. I mean, it was absolutely like just a sensory overload. All of these things happening, the music, his saxophone, the lights. It was truly incredible. And after that, we quit it and went to bed because we had we slept like 3 hours out of like the last 40-ish. So we were all dead tired, but so we went to sleep. And then the next day, I won't describe all these shows. This is gonna take a long time. The next day we saw the Kooks, who were all right. I kind of went to see them because my friend really wanted to see them. I'm not a huge Kooks fan, but they are good, so they were good. And then Tune Yards, which was, God, Tune Yards was amazing. Her voice is absolutely incredible. I was playing them on the way down to try to like introduce them to my friends. A couple of them who hadn't heard of him, and they were all convinced it was either a black woman or a guy. And you know, it's a white woman, and you know, her voice is like, it's just absolutely, it's confusing. It's how her voice sounds that way, almost, but just really good. So Tune Yards was a great live show. And then after that was Two Door Cinema Club, and then after that was Little Dragon. Little Dragon was excellent. I was really close to the stage for that one as well, and they just killed it. And then after Little Dragon, we went to wait in line, or not wait in line, but try to get good spots in front of the stage for Radiohead that night, which was going to be like 4 hours later. But we just didn't care. We're all huge Radiohead. Who isn't a huge Radiohead fan? So we waited for like 3 hours at the main stage, and in that time, the band Rodrigo and Rodrigo y Gabriela and Cuba. I had not heard of these guys, and it was kind of just like acoustic guitar-based jamming, and really fast finger picking. It was impressive technical playing. It was fun to listen to. It was a fun thing to see live. I wouldn't say I would be like a big fan of it, but it was definitely entertaining. It wasn't bad by any means. So definitely weaned us over until 10 o'clock rolled around, which and then Radiohead came out. And I mean, as you can expect, that was my favorite set of the entire festival. I mean, I had not seen Radiohead live before, and we were really close. We were right on the railing before the pit, and the pit you have to wait in a huge line for, so we didn't do that, but we were at the railing right before it, so we were pretty close. And the set list was amazing. They played songs from every album except for the first two. So I was kind of upset they didn't play anything from the Bends, but at the same time they made it up for it by playing. They played Idiotech. They played Kid A, the song, Everything in Its Right Place, Paranoid Android, Karma Police, almost their whole new album. A lot of In Rainbows. They played There. It was just, the set list couldn't have been much better, and they are incredible musicians. The lights were amazing. The crowd was silent. Nobody was really singing. Everybody knows the words. It's Radiohead and Bonnaroo, and nobody was really singing. It was just this listening crowd, and you could just listen to Tom York's sweet voice, and then fireworks were going off during the Daily Mail, I think. It was just perfect, man. It was just perfect. I could not have been happier at the moment I was seeing Radiohead. So I won't dwell on that too much. I guess I already have, but if you have not, my point is, if you have not seen Radiohead before, go see them. Maybe if you aren't even a fan, maybe seeing them live would change that. It was such an incredible. It was like a spiritual experience, and I will probably never be missing Radiohead for the rest of my life based on that performance. So sorry to drag that on, but that was, oh god, it was amazing. Okay, so then after that, we went to see Black Star, which is just hip hop, which was good. I was very actually impressed by his. I'm not a huge hip hop fan. I mean, a lot of it's all right. I'm a huge fan of the Roots, but like hip hop's not like my main thing. So Black Star was all right. I was definitely entertained by it, so that was good. And then after that was Flying Lotus, which didn't start until 2 a.m. and Flying Lotus was ridiculous. I mean, I was already so tired, and I didn't know if I was gonna make it through the whole show. But once he started playing, that changed. I was flabbergasted by Flying Lotus's set. He did so many cool things, and he didn't have much of a stage setup. Like a lot of DJ artists have, you know, like crazy lights and a big production, but he just had a table with a tablecloth, his computer, and a bottle of whiskey. And every now and then he would just take huge gulps of this bottle of whiskey, and it was so funny. But he was great. He was really great. I love his album Cosmogramma so much. So that was the end of that night. So then the next day we saw Battles, incredible. Subtract, incredible. Mogwai, I was in front row for Mogwai. That was probably my second favorite set of the whole festival. And then we saw Dispatch, who, reunited. Who knew? So, and all four of those, I could just like say the same things I've been saying about all these other bands. Just amazing. All four of those were absolutely amazing. Battles, it made me, I knew about them, and I listened to Gloss Drop a few times, but I tell you what, I'm going to be spinning Gloss Drop a lot, because that show was absolutely amazing. And then Subtract did some great things, and then Mogwai, there's a video, I'll put it in the description, there's a couple videos actually, of you can see me just like dancing and getting into the music, because I'm in the front row, and so the webcast picked me up a couple times, so that's pretty neat. Mogwai was amazing. And then Dispatch just they just kind of played the hits, man, and it was amazing how many people knew all the words to these songs. So that was pretty cool. Felt pretty one with Bonnaroo. Dispatch was just like Dispatch's sound. I feel like it's just a great Bonnaroo band. Like, you know, everyone's gonna like them, and everyone's gonna know the words to their songs, and I was totally right about that. So that was great. And then the last day was Here We Go Magic, City in Color, Ben Folds 5, and the Shins. Yeah, Shins. And, man, it was... Here We Go Magic comes out, and everyone goes nuts, and they just... I'm trying to find new words, but I can't. I really can't. They were so great. They were so great. And then we went to see City in Color, and Dallas Green's voice is amazing live, so that was a myth that was proven wrong. His voice is great, and his band was really tight as well. And then after that was Ben Folds 5, who have gotten back together recently. They're coming out with a new album, and they played all early stuff, which was, you know, I'm probably a bigger fan of Ben Folds' solo work than Ben Folds 5 stuff, but it was still really cool to see all these old songs played by the actual guys. So that was really neat. And then after that was the Shins, and the Shins, yeah, they were good. I wouldn't say they like blew me away. They did some cool funky jamming at the end of their songs, kind of drag them out, made it unique. And they were really good. They really reproduced their sound live very well. But I can't say they were like one of my favorites, even though they were good. So, and that was it. And then we left. So, and those are just the bands. I mean, if you haven't been to a music festival, I'm sure many of you have. But specifically Bonnaroo, you know, it's so much more than just the music. I mean, it's an incredible experience. I mean, you go there, you barely eat, you barely sleep. I mean, you know, you meet all these incredibly nice people, and you just do all sorts of things, and it's just a really, really amazing experience. Probably my favorite 4 days of the year. Just, I mean, it's truly a testament to just how big of a music fan you are, and how hard and how long you can party. and it was great fun. So I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about it. Sorry I dragged on for a little bit. I hope I'm gonna watch this back. I know I'm gonna watch this back and see how redundant and just like vomiting up words I am. But whatever, I don't care. So it was great. Yeah, I guess that's it. Cool. I guess I don't have any records to show. I haven't been buying any since I was away. Yeah. Alright, I guess that's it. I guess I'll talk to you guys soon, and alright, cool. Take care.